My distinguished colleague and a very close friend and today's chief guest, Mr. Pukesh Puri, MD, GSFC Limited. Our esteemed, more than the chief guest, is Mr. D.D. Purandare. I can definitely make out about Mr. Purandare because I know his son very well. Our esteemed partner for FirePlex, Shri Mukesh Bhai Shah, Dr. Javeri, Provost, GSFC University, Mr. Bhayani, he is now advisor and professor of practice with GSFC University, and earlier he also had a stint as a provost when I took over as the president way back in 2018. Good evening, friends. I am indeed very happy to be part of this inaugural event. One may term it as a remarkable initiative for setting up a center of excellence. I didn't want it to be called as center of excellence, that's why I have named it as a FirePlex. What is a FirePlex? It's basically a complex where we talk about fire and safety, nothing else. This is a joint initiative undertaken by GSFC University with the support of GSFC company and by Messrs. AG Limited. I have had no exposure on the fire and safety subject as such. I have never been part of the Urban Development Department, which is the department for fire subject in Gujarat. In Government of India, fire subject comes with Ministry of Home Affairs. Although I was Home Secretary for a short time, but in Gujarat we don't do anything relating to fire, except that when there is a major thing, maybe Home Secretary has to play some role, but not really. And today, or for the last many years, I've been talking about fire and fire. And the person responsible is Mr. Puri. When I was DG GIDM, the way it happens in the government, the best bet is to give some responsibility to a colleague. So one is very safe. So when I was DG GIDM, Urban Development Ministry, the then Chief Minister wanted quite a few changes in the fire sector, including amendments in the relevant act, rules and other things. And also, they wanted to strengthen the fire governance. And they chose GIDM as the consulting organization. So we became consultant to the Government of Gujarat in Urban Development Department without any knowledge of fire. But I was fortunate that I had one gentleman with the name Mr. Nisarg Dave. Today he is not here because his uncle passed away yesterday. He was my best bet. Wonderful person, very hardworking. And he had graduated from Sanand. Thereafter he did something in disaster management in UK. So he was the one who was my target. I mean, the man I could rely upon. And of course, the other gentleman who helped us was Mr. Abhay Purandare. And coincidence was that when something has to happen, it will happen. I was invited by IIT Gandhinagar to inaugurate some workshop on fire related. Mr. Gaurav is here. And I only knew that fire is a big disaster hazard. There is no element of doubt on that. And that is where I happened to meet Mr. Abhay Parandare, because he was one of the resource persons for the workshop. So it's all a matter of coincidence. So since I knew Mr. Abhay Parandare, I knew IIT Gandhinagar, Dr. Sudhir Jain happened to be my classmate from Roorkee, we started working on this. But at the end, we were very happy, though we could not get the desired outcome, which is very difficult in a government setup. But I'll give huge credit to Mr. Puri that we could train hundreds of officers as fire safety officers. Today we have them. Even today, the director fire with Government of Gujarat is a trained from GIDM person. And just now, one gentleman who came on the stage, he said that he's my student, because he also perhaps did his fire safety FSO course from GIDM. Today in the entire state, we have as many as about 300 fire safety officers who are empaneled by Government of Gujarat. The real work was that we could train them. And I think many of the resource persons who trained them are here today. I can remember Mr. Mishra from Delhi. It was a wonderful project. That too by GIDM, when the DG GIDM himself had no idea as to what the fire is all about. But coincidence was that I was in GSFC University. We started BTech course in fire and EHS. Never ever it was started by anyone in the, we are a small university, now we are getting bigger day by day. When I joined, we had only 400 students. Today we have 2,145. Other universities, private universities are going down, we are going up. The credit again goes to our parents in the name of GSFC company. We do have a full support of GSFC company and the faculty and every staff we have in GSFC University. This time total admissions are more than 1,000. Out of 2,100, 1,000 is the new admissions, freshers. So we started this BTech Fire and EHS about 4 years ago, and we had 24 students taking admissions with us. I have been to an FSC Nagpur, I have been to other places also just to find out. And particularly, I have never been in education sector ever. But I am happy to share that those 24 boys and girls who graduated this year in the month of May, I think 18 to 20 have been, 18 have received are employed today in one of the good companies. And other 4 or 5, they want to pursue studies. If they want to be employed, they can be employed even today. So there is a scope, but still there is a huge problem. And the problem is that in Gujarat, mostly people are not interested in this course because it's a business society. Easy courses are, fire and safety is not an easy course. It's a difficult life to some extent. But then we are continuing. We had 24, then I think it went down to some 12, 14, and today in all we have, in the last 4 years, only about 50 or 60 I think in all. But we take it as a CSR for GSFC University. It is a responsibility to help the society. For us, it's a loss-making proposition, but we don't consider that education is ever a loss-making because we are contributing to the society as a whole. So we'll continue. This time I think the kind of effort we make for admissions in BTech Fire and EHS, perhaps I did not do it for my civil services examination. Talking to so many people, writing so many letters, having virtual, physical, all kinds of meetings. But today I'll take this opportunity to make once again this request, because you all are fire professionals. Our commitment to the society is unwavered, will not wave. We'll continue with this. So this year perhaps we are getting about 15, 16, how many? 19, oh good. So the number has gone up. 19. But they will get the job without much of a problem. It has a plus in that sense that fewer the number of candidates, better will be the employment opportunities. Am I right? So there is a plus side in this also. But my request is that if you are true fire professional, then please do work for it. And ensure that more and more people get into this somewhat difficult profession and make the society more safe. Now, I still remember I used to be MD GSFC 15 years ago. That time I used to get many requests from those who were training firemen and others for training in GSFC company. GSFC company is 60 years old, more than 60 years old. Am I right? And we were providing training even that time on request basis. So why not to have a training center today when we have a BTech course here? That is how we thought of setting up this. And fortunately, Mr. Puri also joined as MD GSFC. So we have been together in this kind of initiative when we discussed, and we decided to set up a training center. I don't think there is any drill tower in the state of Gujarat. Am I right? Today we have a drill tower in GSFC University and in FirePlex. And our only desire is that it should become a self-sustaining. We don't expect any profit from the center. We simply say that it should continue to be a self-sustaining center. That is where all the institutions, all the industries, I have been in industries for a very, very long time. I have a strong connect with Baroda. Almost 10 to 12 years I have been here. GACL, GSFC, GEB, GSEC, all that. And since I have been part of the industries, and I have had a bad accident in my GACL company way back in 2002 when 4 people lost their lives. That was of a different kind of accident. But the point is that fire is a hazard which will continue and we need to do something. Training is absolutely necessary. It's not a question of desirability, it's a question of necessity. I still remember an event about 2 years ago or 3 years ago that there was a fire in a multi-storied building where the deputy editor of Times of India was staying. His family was there in the flat, in that tenement, apartment. His wife and 2 daughters. one daughter, perhaps she was already given a training or something. While the fire was on, she went to the bathroom and switched on the tap. She survived, the other two died. Small things matter. There is a huge shortage of trained fire staff in the country as well as in Gujarat. There are many reports to that kind. I'll not go into those reports. If there is a need, then somebody has to fill it up. That gap is to be filled up. And we are doing because of that. We have a commitment at the level of Mr. Puri. Of course, Mr. Mukesh Bhai has also joined. He has contributed significantly to this. And I do have certain reports as per which the shortage or the gap is as high as 97%. As per the Standing Fire Advisory Committee, I think Mr. Mishra and others must be aware about it. Gujarat is still much better than other states. But even Gujarat has to do all that. And I do believe that, just to share one more information, that now Gujarat also has set up a training institute, fire training institute. Again, it was Mr. Puri who decided, am I right, Mr. Puri? And of course, I persuaded him to set it up next to GIDM. Now it is called Gujarat State Fire Academy. I was instrumental to change the name. The moment it is academy, you start thinking in a very different way. And second thing is that Mr. Puri may not be aware that I also proposed to the government that it should be an autonomous institution the way GIDM is. That means it should be run by a society rather than by the government department. Mr. Solanki is here. Mr. Solanki? No, he has left? Okay. And I am given that the proposal which we had sent, two things have happened. That the administrative control and the management of GSFA, Gujarat State Fire Academy, is given to GIDM. So DG GIDM will be the overall in charge of Gujarat State Fire Academy. And the second decision which we had proposed and has been approved is that it should be a society so that the decision making is fast. It has to be run like an autonomous institution. This will go a long way, according to me, for fire and safety sector. So all fire professionals who are here perhaps may like to study more and contribute even to Gujarat State Fire Academy by way of upskilling the skills and other interventions. Of course, people like veterans like Mr. D.D. Purandare need to be recognized, and it's a great gesture on the part of Mr. Mukesh Shah. My salutation to Mr. Purandare, and I'm sure that many fire professionals in this sense are being recognized today, those who are contributing for the fire sector. It's very inspiring and heartwarming. I'm also part of it, so I also feel happy about it. Mr. Bhayani has already made a request that we definitely would like to make this center a center of excellence in true sense, if I use the word. That means that the best of the things should be there, and we do contribute to the society in real sense. I can only tell you that I have sent an invitation letter at least to 500 different industries to attend this function with a very single objective. I know that they will not come, but I am doing my duty. At least they will come to know that such a facility is coming up. We have the full support of GSFC company. GSFC fire department is one of the best, and of course we have Gujarat Refinery and others. We should approach them also, Mr. Bhayani. And we have also been recognized by the Directorate of Industrial Safety and Health as the training institution. So we will be able to issue the necessary certificates as desired by the statutes, relevant statutes. We have also now MOU with PESO. PESO wanted GSFC University only. So that will also help us in serving the objective we have targeted. And others are also welcome. And I definitely would like, Mr. Bhayani, that next financial year at least, we should not be making losses. At the same time, we should be making it fully operational in every sense of the term. A classroom also is likely to come up. Am I right, Mr. Mukesh Bhai? Yes, sir. And very soon, we should be making it a operational hub. If there are any suggestions, please do suggest. I understand that 20 one-day training programs, I don't know one-day training programs really help or not. I think we should not compromise with the quality of training, whatever may happen. This is what I will prefer. What is adequate, what is good, I am not the right person to decide. I would like that a group of experts should decide as to what all it should contain, how much it should be, what should be the charges for that. Our objective is not to make money, but to see that we provide the services. It's going to be a service center in that sense of the term, but if it has to survive, it has to make charges. And secondly, it has to grow. If we have to add certain facilities, we need to definitely work on that plan also. I'm sure this initiative will be viable, vibrant, and self-sustaining. So, we will perhaps like an advisory board or something to be there to guide as to what activities we should be doing. We are already ready, I think, with the calendar. But one-day training program will go away, maybe a superficial one. I think people come and have a cup of tea, and by the time the day is over, I don't know what do we learn. We should learn more and more and put in more concerted efforts to see that we deliver the services rather than simply do it only for the namesake. This is how we believe things should work out. And I am again grateful to Shri Mukesh Bhai Shah and also Shri Mukesh Puri for giving us the full support. And we also request you also to lend your full support. Thank you very much.